Changing old conceptions for more qualitative ones, we will realize ourselves living in new worlds. What would you recommend for us to get rid of undesirable forms and to prevent invasion of self-consciousnesses of other negative persons? Getting rid of the above-mentioned stuff is possible only just using new knowledge. There is no other way because there are completely different configurations of new forms of self-consciousnesses in new worlds. If you want to refocus to more qualitative worlds, I can tell you that in those worlds there aren't the current configurations of yours, even given the original knowledges of Iissiidiology that you try to drag in your minds now. In new worlds, there aren't your current configurations, as well as the conceptions of people who are just you, your personalities of your Luwu forms living 2000 years ago. That's why they're living there, and you here simultaneously. Likewise, now you are existing simultaneously with those who have no disformed forms of death. It is possible to remove these forms of death only by means of the very deep logical analysis of the knowledges, the information given by me. It seems strange, but there is no other information of this sort, honestly. Because any other information is about incarnations. However, they don't exist. Only refocusings take place. Here you are. You might realize yourself there, but there is no like you'll be at some place or you'll be someone certain, as it is expressed in teachings about incarnation. Moreover, in teachings there is no snap off at all to single-momentness and simultaneity. There is no any deep explanation of the death notion and of what occurs after it. They all related to clinical states named clinical death. Actually, the latter is just a manifestation of the temporal ethereal constituent through biological processes in an organism. Formation of proteins, ferments, and other specific reactions. They all create your temporal presence in allogrotum systems as clinical death, far separately from forma system. Thus, you realize yourself mostly as any of your forma copies, more qualitative usually, but it could be worse. For that reason, all the difficulty of refocusing to more qualitative worlds lies in profound changes of the existing forms, the existing conceptions of oneself, of the world around, for more qualitative, universal, and deep forms. There is no other problem. Progressively changing the old conceptions for the more qualitative, faster or slower, you will realize yourself living in the new worlds. It will proceed completely, imperceptibly for you and will seem like advances in science and technology thanks to which you will find your life changed somehow. One stuff will get better, another one will get better, something unfavorable having existed before will disappear from your life. You will start to feel happy, joyous, self-realized, pleased towards your life creativity. Then, the age won't be a problem. State of form, health, won't be a problem. Anything else won't be an obstacle. Thus, you won't even notice that you will have passed from the biological form to the bioplasmic one, from the bioplasmic to the plasmic. Then, you will have quite different interests at all, different attitude towards everything, different life, different reality, different people. The second question has been related to the unapproved invasion. If you have no interest in it, you won't notice what you say. Unapproved moments of invasion into your life, meaning it won't happen if some certain levels of your self-consciousness are already synthesized. Do you catch it? Such unapproved invasions emerge when you are already focused on rather positive level, but you missed any unstudied aspects, didn't realize yourself on less qualitative levels. These karmic channels stayed active, though you suppressed them carefully. You suppressed their activity due to your attitudes. That's bad. What would they think of me? How could I respect myself? Then those channels became full, not with any implants, but by your own implants, by your low form, because certain activity was kept in the channels. It is possible to reverse that activity only in the process of the deep synthesis of the stressful moments. It happens if you could understand through some feelings, could concise that the current experience is already gained by you. You will determine your position clearly about that something isn't interesting to you in any meaning. It is like leading you through the following situation right now. Two fellows come to you and say, "Let's go out and get to S&M. Are you interested in being whipped, cuffed, or mocked anyhow else?" No, you aren't. The same is about any other realizations. I have took the extreme, but there is also more usual example as greed in its different forms. Avarice, quarrels, and other tags applied to us by ourselves when we averse ourselves in such reactions. It is real to secure yourself from external invasion only with the knowledge and deep comprehension. There are no other means, no amulets, and no other far-fetched ideas of the human mind would secure you equally. If you try to defend yourself against anything, it indicates the lack of deeper comprehension of yours. For instance, one woman came to me and said, "You know, you're a good man, but this your finger ring is bad. It had absorbed bad energies. It might be devastating to you. It might make one or another thing. It would bring sores to you and other bad things. I don't care. My configuration is that I don't care. I know that nobody could oppress me if I didn't want it. I wear a ring for you to view not my face, but my ring, and you would think, Oris wears a ring. What is made of? It sparkles somehow, or whatever. In that moment, you become open to my self-consciousness. Then I see you through inside and out. You know, because in that moment you are not close. You get interested in something, for example, in this jewelry. If someone considers certain energies are in this ring, it should be laid on some place and it would be cleaned or whatever. But if it's non-existent in my self-consciousness, it doesn't exist here outside. Even if it exists somehow, it has no impact on me like a black cat that might run before my car even 100 times. I would only watch and think for what purpose it runs and when will it run the 100th time. I will drive further and there will be no changes in my attitudes and in my plans because of its running for 100 times. Another man would think, oh no, I should drive back. Then, oops, he would strike his car. It would be over. He would think then, the cat ran and therefore everything went wrong. It is a difficult moment in self-consciousness. No one gets rid of it easily, as well as of conceptions of death. I can tell you that the most complicated barrier to you is the fear of death, which is put into your DNA. I'd like to transform your DNA. No other teaching gives such argumentative, so logical, so analytic material, information aimed for prevention of you from this fear. No one from existing teachings. Only the more profound versions of Iissiidiology will exist in the nearest future, in order for winning the fear of death. Therefore, for the reason that there is no any notion about death in more qualitative worlds, so it's only possible to take the already existing forms there, your forms in more qualitative worlds, having got rid of forms of death. There is no other equal teaching. All that exists now doesn't reveal the meaning of such processes. Religion expresses the immortality only of a soul. Recently, Oleg, a person in the audience, has expressed that the Dr. Bekhterev also told about human personality immortality, but Bekhterev told on completely different level. He examined physiology and other stuff, having used the expression personality immortality. Iissiidiology gives you an opportunity to make significant corrections in your thinking, your conceptions. Then, those corrections will become the mechanism of your refocusings to more qualitative different forms, to more qualitative different worlds, to the other you whom you aspire, but whom you don't know the way. It's the only way.